This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Network. Podcasts. I see you, Danger Entertainment. I see you.
Hello, Dangerlings. How are you doing? It is your Dungeon Master, Dan Thompson here. Been a little while since we did a normal intro like this rather than a funny sketch, but I think we've had some fun things happen recently. I wanted to check in with you guys, see how you're all doing. Say thank you to some people as well. We've done some really fun events recently. Scott and I were at the Dungeons & Dragons for Mental Health event here in London, run by the Rollists podcast and the London RPG community and Roleplay Haven. Lots of cool people there. Some really interesting panels, a lot of money raised for really, really good causes. It was great to be a small part of that. And we also had a really nice time at Comic-Con recently. When is Comic-Con? It's always Comic-Con. Comic-Con is a state of mind. But no, it was actually Comic-Con and we actually went to it and we had a really nice time. So thank you so much to everyone who came and chatted to us at that. It really made the day special. And thank you to people who've been leaving us really good reviews recently as well. People like the Ronald in Canada, people like Kilted Code and Spider-Man, maybe the real Spider-Man, in the United States, and people like Robin Guyver right here in the UK. Cheers, guys. That really helps us. If you want to get a shout out on the show, very easy to do. You've got your phone in your hand right now. Scroll down, give us 5 stars, write us a quick review, help people find this show because we're making plans for 2020 at the moment, and things are looking exciting. You want to get your friends on board with this. And hop on our Discord as well, where you can join such exciting chats as correcting us on rules, talking about the newest episode, and just forming a general support group about that weird centaur birth storyline that happened last week. Anyway, we've got an episode to record now. You've got an episode to listen to. Here we go.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
There's a place called the Forest Bounty.
Well, we are looking for Nuala. You know where she is?
Don't like city fellas coming around here asking questions?
I'm no city fella. I'm a goddamn druid.
Then prove it.
Oh, there's going to be a druid off.
My wife she's about to give birth, and we don't have time to get to Centaur Hospital.
Focus. Look into my eyes and push. Push hard. You can do this.
You're the best goddamn druid I ever met in my life. The adventure continues now.
And we are back in Danger Club Studios. It is getting cold. It is getting spooky. It is nearly Halloween.
All Hallows Eve.
You like Halloween, didn't you, Scott?
Hello, everyone.
I thought you were doing just like a hell.
Hell.
You like the Simpsons change all their names.
Sorry, Dan. Do that again because I messed it up, didn't I?
All right. Hell. Oh, everyone, and welcome to the Danger Club podcast. We are back. We are having fun. We are experiencing life, birth, and everything else in the adventure at the moment. You've made your way through the forest, collected some mushrooms, you've got some rooms. Shania's become a good bartender, and you've made your way to the feasting hall. And you have found, it's called the Forest Bounty, I believe it is called. From this feasting hall, where you have found a large number of woodland folk. And there was a bit of a druid off happened there.
Yep.
This gnome he threw down.
That's right.
But then there was a bit of an emergency and a bit of a miracle of life.
Where did that come from? Like, that was just ridiculous.
Hey, it's a fantasy world. Stuff like this.
Don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was just like, what? This is happening now?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be so blow for blow. I thought you might just make us roll for it and see what happened, but no. We really took that one out.
Labour's a long process, man. I just noticed Dan relentlessly throwing anything birth or child related always at drum. Like if there's a child in need or if there's a birth happening, it's always going drum's way. Like Dan's relentless at that.
It's a narrative crutch of mine. Easy emotional reaction, but you rose to the challenge with aplomb. Midwife, which makes sense since you are a follower of the god of midwives, or the goddess of midwives.
Well, I suppose so.
So yes, and a druid as well. So you were able to deliver the child with the help of Nurse Caragor.
Nurse Caragor.
Yeah, nurse now. Caragor's had like a whole...
That's right.
Like, wow, it's a whole new outlook on life. Like, holding that little centaur baby flopping around in my arms. There's a different little epoch change there. Wow.
Can really change you, man. Yeah.
Gosh.
And you have won the appreciation of everyone else. How does everyone else feel about watching this miracle of life that unfolded before them?
Perfect response.
That was such a golden response. Yeah.
I think Velda was kind of fascinated and horrified in equal measure.
I imagine I'd be surprised if Velda stayed throughout the entire.
He did.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's also very curious creatures. So it was more. I will never see this again. I hope. So let's see.
Is that another T-shirt? Velda stays.
Velda stays.
Yeah.
Well, it's because something interesting was happening. So
yeah.
Ooh.
It's just going to be a view from inside the dilated cervix, looking out at Shania and Caragor looking in, with Velda peering over their shoulder curiously into it. The caption: Velda, leave.
I mean, the Centaurs did not pick a private moment to have this particular part of their life.
That's how they do it. That's how they. That's medical
What,
advice.
in blind panic?
Yeah, all this stuff about modern ideas of birth, that we should have babies lying down and stuff. There's a lot of science now that says actually we should have them standing up in the middle of a bar in a wood while half a horse.
Also, Dan, Centaur Hospital.
That was amazing. Yeah.
I mean, are there lots of Centaur hospitals?
Well, I'm glad
a
you
network
did
across
that
the land.
Well, where do they go, James?
Well, I don't know. I just thought they maybe just used a woodland glade or just stood in front of loads of people like you just said. It's not the Centaur Hospital.
Well, clearly.
Is it covered? Is there some sort of NHS or do they have to pay for Centaur Hospital?
What, National Horse Service?
Yay!
Let's get back to the adventure.
Good dodge, Dan. Good dodge.
Oh, Centaur Hospital, come back.
It's going to be a spin-off series, isn't it?
It's a medical drama.
With Faye Law.
Great soap.
My God.
That's an intro in the waiting, isn't it? Yeah.
This Satyr needs 6 grams of grass, stat.
And some ketamine.
It's a horse.
It's a horse tranquilizer.
Sorry, yeah.
Actually, that was a legitimate joke.
It was
a legitimate joke.
Should have gone, yeah.
It's good.
Give us some grass,
of course it
hollyhocks
is.
and ketamine.
Anyway.
Shut up.
Next week on Centaur Hospital.
Doctor, all the ketamine's gone. I've no idea.
He's not even a centaur.
It's Glasto this week, that's why.
That's just a man with a panto costume. Half a panto costume.
The other half filled with ketamine, just dragging himself out of the hospital. Ooh. Stop that man! I mean, I'd sign up to Netflix for it. Let me just say.
Good,
So,
excellent.
Good times. Got a lot of mileage out of those horses. So you're back in the forest, Bounty. Everyone is standing around applauding your excellent work. The Centaur family approach you, Caragor, and the mother holds out her hands.
Here you go.
Takes the child, tries to hold it, and it's really awkward because it's
Oh,
half
whoa!
horse,
Watch you go watch the head.
just
Got to cradle the head.
cradles the head.
Ideally, I think the nook of my elbow was helping quite well there. How you doing? You're right.
She says, Thank you so much.
It's all right. Nurse Shania did most of the work.
Well, I could not have done it without Nurse Caragor here, but you have there a beautiful baby centaur. Well done.
What are you going to name them?
I'm going to name them Shaniagor.
Shania.
Caragor
Well,
goes. Caragor shakes his head and then like ducks his head around to the side and just wipes away a little tear. It doesn't. Hopes no one else notices. That's a good name. Good name.
Come on, little Shaniagor.
Velda notices.
The male centaur nods and says, God, I tell you what, if the two of you ever wanted a job in a centaur hospital, which is a real thing, he looked across at the fella. The two of the centaur family make their way back off into the woods.
What are your names?
My name, I did write it down.
Your own name?
Have to write a name down, do you?
Labour's stressful for him as well as a lot of shock goes through him.
My name is Wanda Highhoof, and I am Stuart Highhoof.
Stuart Highhoof.
Stuart Highhoof.
Okay, good. It's a
Stuart,
pleasure.
because you kept calling them centaurs, I thought that was their family name, like the centaur family who are
Oh,
centaurs.
what? Every centaur is called centaur.
Wow.
No, I actually said that out of
This
character.
guy.
No, I'm taking it in character. Wow, Velda.
You can't take it in character. I said it out of character.
God, unbelievable, Velda. All right, unbelievable, Velda. Sylph man.
Yeah, right.
I still said it out of character.
The gnome is wiping his hands clean with a towel.
Hey, you did great as well.
You didn't do
thanks
anything.
for your help.
What are you wiping your hands for?
I was eating some dry roasted nuts.
Right.
I get the powder all over. It's all
Yeah,
over
you
my
don't
hands,
want to get
bro.
that on a baby.
Don't want to get nut powder on a baby.
No, I mean, what is allergic? I mean, Jesus.
No, you can't wash them for like I don't know, like a year.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible.
A year?
Yeah, just because they just kick you if you try.
Oh,
They're
right.
bad and they're strong as a horse. So what are you gonna do?
You got any more of them nuts?
Yeah, he gets you some nuts.
Thanks.
Hey, what's your name, mate?
My name is Leafy Greenman.
Hey, Leafy Green Man, you've got a little collective here, haven't you? Of people who care about the woods. It's quite clear that.
Say we do.
Yeah. So why on earth would you lot just keep around an injured lamb and not tend to it? Like, why are you just waiting around for someone else to come and fix it? What kind of woodland defender do you think you are?
We have to have a way of being sure that you're a friend of the woodland before
So did you
can
just
be here.
like hit the lamb before you brought it in or something?
No, we have a number of injured lambs that we keep for this purpose.
Well, there's a bunch of
them
injured
injured.
lambs out back.
You have, I mean, should I maybe
You
heal them
sounds
all?
awful. You lot are
Because
horrible, mate.
This is bad for
But
them.
how will we know? How will we know that they're not people aren't city folk if we don't let them heal the lamb?
Why don't you just break
so-
one of their
I mean,
legs
but-
before you bring it up?
Well,
No, but that's not what I'm saying.
Well, at least they're not injured all the time.
Let's not break any lamb's legs.
Look, just because you've given birth, you're feeling a bit
I
like...
haven't given birth. That's the opposite of what just happened. What's wrong with everybody? Failing to comprehend basic fantasy science.
Oh, give me them fucking nuts.
He's gone not crazy. It
Oh,
happens.
these nuts are great.
Okay, I mean, first of all, maybe I should try to, heal these other lambs, but, I need quite a lot of focus to do it, so I'll come back to it, okay?
Okay.
I can put maybe some medicine on them, make sure they're not in pain.
No, it's fine. We can do it. But,
Well, then fucking do it, okay? And take us to Nuala.
fine. All right.
yeah.
He leads you across the hall to the corner of the table on the far side of it, where you can see there is an elven woman who is sitting over a bowl of stew. She has a mug of ale next to her. She's eating it. She has blonde hair. She's wearing leather armor. The armor covers her left arm completely, down to a long glove, whereas her right arm is bare. She has a bow and a sword next to her. And she has her hood up. She's currently just eating her stew. She glances up as you approach. Noala, these are druid folk. They're looking for you. They're not like city folk. She looks at all of you suspiciously, and her hand just moves down and rests on the sword hilt.
There will be no need for this, I'm sure. We are merely come to speak with you about your pathfinding.
She pulls the hood back. You see she is an elf. Her ears stick out from her hair. She says, "Who are you?"
Well, in truth, In truth, we are adventurers. We are on the path of some terrible things, and we thought you might be able to help us.
You must be mistaken. The Pathfinder Lodge here closed a long time ago.
We know that, but we also know that you are part of this, yeah? And so there must be some kind of knowledge that you can impart if we have questions.
You, Caragor notes the arm covering and the bow. Archer, eh?
Yes.
Caragor slowly gets out his own bow. Got a longbow here. That's what I use. What are you on? What's that?
She nods at this longbow as well.
Nice. Took a few hits to a drake with this one. About you?
It does me well enough. What do you want? What do you want? A tip off of where to find a lost monster lair or something?
We have questions about the living god.
And also some information to share, perhaps regarding to your safety.
Yeah.
She looks for a minute and then looks over to the gnomes. Thank you, Leafy. I'll take it from here. He nods and goes back to join the others, probably to heal some lambs, and leaves you to talk to her. She nods to the to some of the chairs around her for you to sit down, and pushes a jug of ale across to where there are some empty cups. So, you're not just random adventurers? Who are you? What do you know about the church?
Well, we call ourselves the Danger Club. We have been on the trail of a woman called Freya Axbone. We believe that she has a piece, a shard of something very important that could be extremely dangerous for everyone, for everything. And the trail so far has led us here. We believe that she has passed through this way, but as we were passing through, we also got information that was pertaining to the Pathfinders and the possible dangers that you could be in, and we are very suspicious of the Living God. We have been attacked by members of the Living God already, and although lots of people say that they do good, we are highly suspicious of them, and we would wish to know anything that you could tell us about him.
Mainly as well, our target that we were chasing took passage on a faith barge, and yeah, as Shania rightly says, we were attacked by members of the cult that believed that we were working for you. And as you can see, we've never met before.
She looks across each of you as if trying to get the measure of all of you. What about you, dwarf? You have a strange air about you.
I'm just here with my friends. He's drinking, by the way, as well.
You're drinking that ale pretty quick.
Aye.
Fine. You want to know about the cult? The cult came here about 2 years ago. They're been growing in power ever since. They are popular within the city. Very popular. They're popular wherever they go. They preach a message which is appealing to people in uncertain times like this. And many people listen to it, especially since they provide money and food for the poor. And there are those who join them. But things are very different when you try to leave them. The Pathfinders are very forgiving to those who stray from their ranks. The cult are less so. That is why I am out here. I was a Pathfinder once. I was the venture captain of this lodge, but I grew tired of the life. I wanted something more from it. When I saw the work the cult were doing, they called themselves the Children, or the Church. They don't think of themselves as a cult. I joined them. I went to one of their initiation ceremonies. Went through the initial weeks of hard work to become part of them, to earn my mask. But once I was in, I started to see it for what it is. There is greed and self-service. There are worse things, I think, that go on within that temple, but I never found out for sure. Never saw any of it with my own eyes, but I saw cruelty from some of the senior priests towards the young acolytes. So, one evening I slipped over the walls and I left. Decided I would just shed my mask, go back to my old life, went back to the lodge. The next night they burned the lodge to the ground, with me inside it. She flexes the leather-clad arm ever so slightly, as if remembering something, and rubs it and puts her hand to it.
How did you escape?
I leapt through the fires and managed to make it away, but I was not without injury.
Do they believe you dead then?
I don't think so, but I know that they have limited resources and they are on a mission themselves. Whatever it is, I think I am a small part of it. But recently I began venturing into town again to look around. Perhaps that is what stirred them up. If they mistook you for people who were involved with me, then I can only apologize.
So then the quarrel is not with Pathfinders, but with you in particular.
They think that they think that I want to bring down their operation here in Tamaran. They consider me a dangerous enemy, and they consider me part of the Pathfinders, and so they consider the Pathfinders an enemy.
I see. I mean, would this reach further than Tamaran? Would it reach into other towns? They would have quarrels with Pathfinders then, or no?
The Pathfinders have quarrels with anybody with evil ends. But I do not have enough evidence to prove it to anybody just yet. What I saw is just one person's account, and I have no concrete evidence. And now they know me too well to be able to go back inside to gain anything.
No other. That's been on my mind since we came out here. There's a presence of the cult to the children, handing out bread and that, not too far from here.
Yes, I'd imagine you probably went past their main temple.
I mean, if they're looking for you, you're pretty close by. Haven't you been tempted to relocate?
I want to stay near enough, and once I'm in the woods, it's easy to find. If they came across the forest bounty here, Leafy would let me know before they got anywhere near it. I'd be in the wind before they got close.
It's pretty risky though. You're putting danger to the people that are around you. Do you not think?
They know the risks.
Fair enough. Can I get a roll to see? Caragor's just trying to judge how. Like, she says this, but Caragor might suspect that she wants to get back in the action or is looking for an excuse, so to speak. So what kind of roll would I make?
Perception it would be to try and get a read on her.
16.
16? It's hard to say. She definitely hates the cult. You look like she seems like she's sort of low on options at the moment. She seems kind of down.
Do you, if you had, let's say, a few capable bodies willing of helping you find evidence that had their own skills and abilities to supplement yours, how would you feel about that?
I would feel that was a very, very strong offer.
Well, there's also a small matter of, we may have come across someone who was praying to the living God. We defeated him. We have his head.
She frowns at you. Is that you mean metaphorically or?
No.
Nah, they've got someone's head
Literally.
in a bag.
Why?
Well, we also were hoping for evidence. Unfortunately, much of it was destroyed as we were trying to escape. But I do not know if it's possible for someone to identify this head, then we may have some kind of proof.
It's not easy to get ahead in life.
She just looks at you.
What? Well, I'm serious.
You're interested in going after the church here?
We have 2 other reasons as well that are our own to go after them. Caragor looks at Folton. Aye. We've got 2 reasons. We've got a reason for the living and we've got a reason for the dead.
Yeah.
Well, so long as your reasons are not sinister, then...
Could you just...
I mean,
because we've teetered on the edge, could you define... So, yeah, we are carrying around a head in a bag,
we just established we're carrying the head.
Do you want to define, set out some parameters for what you class as sinister before we go ahead and, stick ourselves on one side of that fence?
Do you mean left-handed? Like that sort of sinister?
No, I mean evil.
Oh, no, I think we're all right.
I don't
with
think we're evil, no.
No.
Caragor looks at everybody and just spends a second longer looking at Velda and then looks back to Nala.
Why are you so interested in the cult?
Okay, well, so we defeated a blood mage. You know blood mages, yeah? He was to the living god that we found out. This particular blood mage that we defeated, he had set us up with an old friend of Caragor's who seemed to have turned on us. She, we believe, has something very dangerous in her possession. We are trying to get this back, but she is being helped, I believe, by the cult of the living god, and for these reasons, we not only wish but must get involved.
Well then, it seems we have a common purpose.
Yeah.
If you are looking for evidence of what happened to this person, if they are part of the church, then you will need to get inside their temple.
Oh,
Just
you're going to make us
suspect.
put the masks on and the robes, aren't you? That's what we want.
It looked like a fortress.
Well, you can try and charge the gates if you want, but I suspect if you were that powerful, you would have done so already.
I was just thinking maybe more about, luring... There's plenty of them wandering around with bread and that. Just luring one of them out, asking them a few questions.
You can try. I've never managed to get very much information beyond all hail the living god. Those who are loyal enough to be sent outside are fanatical. They will not give up their secrets under threat of something so simple as pain.
Well, how do you propose we get inside?
Masks.
By dressing up, going in like
bloody
that?
masks. I knew it.
Do you know, is there a way, have you ever heard of a way that we can get in there easy?
Yes, there is one way in.
Oh, yeah?
It's the same way that I got in.
Go on.
You need to join the cult of the living god.
Oh, right. So now we've got to join the cult to get in now.
They hold recruitment sessions every few weeks at a drinking establishment near the temple, where where new recruits, people who are interested in learning the way of the steps of the living god.
Right.
They go and join up. Once they're there, the initiates go through a lengthy initiation process where they are broken into the church. They do tasks and things.
I worry with this plan about time. This woman that we are chasing, this Freya Axburn, she may already have moved on from here.
She might be gone.
I do not wish to lose her by doing by getting involved in a long plan. I would hope for something quicker.
I know what you're saying, Shania, but the people that are going to know best about her next location, if she has gone to her next location, will be inside the bloody temple, won't they?
Well, also,
she came on a faith barge, so...
It's got to be another way.
Also, well, the thing is, we only have to pretend that we're going into the initiation, and then once we're in, we can go and interrogate someone of importance. We don't have to sit out the whole weeks and weeks and weeks. We don't actually want to join the cult.
They do recruiting at the bar. You have to kind of prove yourself.
Oh, no. So, and then we say, yes, absolutely. We'd love to be part of your cult. We get inside the temple and then slip off.
But that's got sound.
So it doesn't have to be a long plan at all. We could do it within, a day.
However, the places that they've got some kind of ranking, a hierarchy system. The more faithful are let into more bits of the temple, we'd probably be stopped from going anywhere around the temple if we were just initiates.
Yeah.
Simple white belts.
Hasn't stopped us before.
Acolytes are not permitted beyond the ground floor. That's all I know.
Yes, yeah, we've heard that one before.
Well, if you think that you're capable of, I know I have a contact within the city council here in Tamaran. There are those in power who are aware of what the cult's true nature is.
Do you reckon they'll get that information over though?
They do not have enough. There are not enough people on the council willing to publicly denounce the cult, especially when the church is so popular among the common people. If you were able to find me some proof of the wrongdoings within that temple, then perhaps it would be enough to persuade the council to finally take action. Maybe drive them out of Tamaran for good.
All right, so find some dirt on them, yeah?
I mean, that'd be great, but
where do we start?
I mean, what kind of... Are they going to just keep a ledger of all the people they've blackmailed and beaten up, if they even have? What kind of thing? No, you don't. Okay, right.
I just need...
We would have to go and find out for ourselves. Use our, noodles.
Where could we go to find some, like, if there might be some people that are still back out now or whatever, like yourself, and see, like, if they know how we would get hold of any.
Perhaps you might find somebody, but I don't know anyone else. I say I was only a member for a few days, and then I escaped. I can tell you that the initial part of the initiation involves spending 24 hours without food and only water.
What?
In contemplation.
Right. Oh. Do you give all your weapons and that away and stuff as well, I guess?
You do. When you
finally,
when you are trusted, you have them returned to you.
Right.
When you have proved yourself.
And that could be weeks, months, years.
For me, it was only a few days.
Sure, yeah. Well, you're very trustworthy, Nyla.
As soon as I only waited long enough to get my things back, and as soon as I had them, I made my escape.
How did you convince them you were trustworthy then?
I did everything they asked. I cleaned steps. I trained in the courtyard. I sparred with them.
Oh, imagine that.
I did whatever was required of me. I ate my meals with them. I went to sermons at night.
You sparred with them, did you? So they've got a standing military force as well.
They train regularly. Yes, they wish all of their members to be martially trained.
Training an army, right, on your doorstep, eh? It's interesting, isn't it?
In plain sight.
Right, yeah, and being loved for it as well. That's great.
Love for it.
Great PR, that is.
You see why I think they're dangerous.
Yeah, right.
Very much so. So, if we will be in there at least for a few days, while we try to, while we perform the tasks that we need to perform, and then we need to try. Then we would need to try and find evidence before we leave, and also any trace of rare axe bones that we can find, without rousing any suspicion. It will be very tough.
Yeah, that will be incredibly tough.
I warn you, it is not to be undertaken lightly. If they suspect that you are there under false pretenses, they will kill you.
And we will be in their domain with many of them.
Yes. Then there is a good chance you will not have your weapons with you. As well, you cannot go to the guard for help. Most of the guard fully support them, especially those in the district near their headquarters. I tried before to cause a disruption during one of their sermons. I found myself arrested. The guard are all in their pocket, as far as I can tell. At least most of them. With some hard evidence, I might be able to convince the captain of the guard to take firm action against them, to raid their temple. And then you would have the martial support that you required. But for that, you would have to find some evidence, and then you would have to find a way out to get back to me with it.
Thank you, Noella. This has been most illuminating, and it has been good speaking to you. Would you mind, perhaps, if we had a moment to discuss this alone with our group?
Of course.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, can we go to a corner or whatever?
That's fine. Yeah, there's plenty of space.
All right. Okay.
So what were you saying?
Well,
how are we going to do that?
Listen, this is a big undertaking. This is a tough job. I mean, it feels like it may possibly be the only way that we can get the information that we need and do the kind of goods that we want to do. However, it's a huge undertaking, and if there was any other way, has anyone thought of anything else that we could do?
So we're going to join a cult.
I mean, that would be the plan. I'm saying now, has anyone got any other plans other than this? I mean, it sounds like this maybe the only way.
Oh, I was just going straight in. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
We could. No, I don't like it at all. I get the feeling it's the only way.
Yeah,
if we were to set fire to the place, they'd all have to come out.
Oh, mate, then we got to get close enough to set that fire off.
I mean, what's more dangerous, setting a few fires or joining a dangerous, vicious cult for days on end,
so we can
handing
set off
over all our weapons and then going on a rogue mission inside it whilst there's an army walking about over our heads?
So what are you saying, like setting off like 5 fires simultaneously at different parts? That was just an idea.
I mean, do we think that's more stupid than...
The place is the size of a city block. Is this... I mean, there's maybe perhaps not enough. Even if we set the fires in all different places, I mean, it's quite likely that somewhere like this, they are organized enough, they would have the fires out in seconds and we would be caught.
You sound like you joined the cult already, Shania.
I mean, yeah, maybe sort of I have. I'm just trying to think logically now about what other options we have.
I mean, I've never done one before. I've never done a cult before. I don't know about you lot. Sounds good.
No, it doesn't sound. What? It doesn't sound good as a cult.
Do you know what I mean? It's an experience.
They tried to kill us.
So?
What do you mean, so?
Well, now we're going to fucking kill them, and we?
Well, no, not for days, apparently. We're just going to give them all our weapons and
That's
be like, oh, yeah, great.
All you got to do is go, oh, I love the leader, and eat some beans. It'll be fine.
What happens if what happens if they try and make you kill... Eat some beans?
Yeah, they only give you beans, don't they? Is that right?
How do you know so much about... Have you two joined the cult already? Have you got masks? Do you have any masks?
I know nothing about beans. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Listen, what if one of their initiation ceremonies is making you kill someone who's innocent?
Well, then we cross that bridge when we come to it.
So, I mean, it doesn't sound like it from what Nuala has said.
Yeah, but
from what Nuala has said, it sounds like simple tasks, easy stuff. I mean,
cleaning steps,
intuitively,
eating beans.
Nuala was very upfront with us and told us that she actually really wanted to join the cult. So when they did all the questions and the soul search and all that kind of stuff, they wouldn't have met any resistance. Now, if they start asking questions about our past lives, we might be able to lie, but they'll probably sense something else going on. Whereas our initiation might take longer. They might want more of an example of sacrifice, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean?
This is all possible. This is all very possible.
It's probable.
Probable, fine.
There's a lot of variables, yeah. Fuck it, come on, let's do it.
So keen about joining the cult.
But so
all this stuff only happened to us when you turned up, Bubba.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other plan, any other idea of what we could do?
Look, you're pretty smart.
Just sneak in.
You mean like find some of these cultists outside, beat the fuck out of them, put their masks and clothes on, and the next time and then just walk in and go, hello, we are masks of the living God people.
Either that or sneak into the sewers sneak over the wall.
We'd have to fight. I mean, yeah, but
because then at least we'd have all our weapons and we could get the drop of them. Just do it at night.
We'd have to find out the code words and stuff from the people, and they're fanatics. We know they don't give up information freely. I think we got lucky with a kid that got killed because he was young and he was a bit nervous. We caught him off guard, but I don't think we'll get as easy getting code words off.
Why don't we just forget? Why are we making this hard? Just sneak in.
I know, but Nuala said the only way to get in was through people. Do you know what I mean? Like joining
for
the cult.
Nuala.
Hold on,
not for the Danger Club.
You might be right there, Velda. Maybe there's a weak link somewhere.
Yes, they must have a sewer system. They must have something going on.
And how are we going to get the plans for this place?
We won't need plans. We'll spend a couple of days scouting it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Like Caragor says, far safer than trying to get in there. I don't like the whole idea of everyone giving their weapons away. I mean, we've done that before, but we had a way of getting our weapons in that we could get them back.
Aye. Whereas we'll be relying on them to choose to give us back.
They are not going to leave them in a box somewhere near where we're staying, are they?
If we're watching them people as well, we can find the weak link there as well. No, them people.
Oh.
Right, not them people. Don't worry about them. You done me wrong. Nah, just do the old...
Rallying through my mind to come up with an M People song, but all I could settle on was Simply Red for some reason. I don't know why. The two are linked in my mind.
Yeah, right. I mean,
they're
both kind of middle of the road, aren't they, I guess?
Yeah.
If you don't know me by now, Listen,
I actually like
Yeah,
it.
we can find a weak link, can't we? We can find a weak link in the people. If we've watched them, we can find the youngest geezer that's in
So
there,
we keep-
and he's a bit weak, and we can ask him questions, and we can beat the old fucking passwords out of him. That'd be good.
So we keep an eye on the bread givers.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if? I know. I'm
No,
just
look,
what
as soon
if
as
in
a
now.
bread
But
giver, as soon as a bread giver goes missing, the entire alarm will be raised, and they'll be out in the city in force looking for them.
more to the point, what happens if the bread givers are just nice people who want to give bread to people, and we end up beating one near to death?
No,
Do you know what I mean?
I'm not really up
I
on this
don't know.
torture and beating.
But I mean-
why don't we just
I mean, I'm
sneak in
assuming
there as
that-
ourselves and find the plans, find someone who
As
knows where-
ourselves.
Yes, through the sewers or over the wall or
Folton,
something.
you're being a bit quiet. Well, have you got any ideas, bro? Because we're all out of them.
No, I don't know. He's visibly drunk, by the way, just to let you know. He's just been drinking this entire time.
Maybe you should. No, nothing. No, I'm not.
I mean, first things first. I mean, I think maybe we will need to all be on our top game before we attempt to do any of this stuff. Anyway,
Well, it goes without saying, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna need to sleep on it at the very least, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And plenty of mushrooms.
Sleep on it, drink lots of water, ingest a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of caffeine.
And maybe
Probably.
Stay off the beers for a couple of days.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
I
maybe we
might
could
do
this.
that.
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you actually. No more yak's milk for me for a while.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. We'll need to be
I
sure.
might have one.
What are you doing? Why are you selling us out like that, Velda?
What, setting him out?
We all just agreed on something, then you did something else.
Oh, we were doing it together?
Bubba is just shaking his beak.
Oh.
Felder.
I thought, I don't know, I thought we were just discussing tonight's plan.
All right, so
Right.
let's go back over to Nuala.
All right.
Return
to Nuala.
Hi, Nuala. You're right.
What is your decision?
Can we have a day?
I mean, you've been waiting for 2 years, so, a day.
And if there's anything you can do for us, if you find something out in that day, let us know. If you have any other ideas,
Do you have any contacts who live in the city who know about the sewer system or
plans for that
plans
building,
or back doors, anything like that?
Tamron doesn't have much of a sewer system. Would make it too easy to assault. Make it easy for creatures to come out of make it easy for creatures to come out from the lake.
So what about the? Where does it all go?
Well, it's collected at night by night soil men and used for fertilizer in the fields outside.
Well, that's quite good and organic. That's really useful.
Very good. Yeah.
You seem to know quite a lot, actually, Noel. I wonder if I could pick your brains about what's the political landscape here at the moment. I don't know. I heard back when I was living in where I used to live that you people here used to have beef with. Didn't this country used to be part of another country? Wasn't there some kind of civil war or something like that?
There's always civil war in Nirmathas. Nirmathas was part of the Chelish Empire, then it was part of Multhun. Multhun and Nirmathas were at war for years, but in recent times, the arrival of the Iron Fang Legion first, the Hobgoblin Nation, and now more recently with the Undead, the Whispering Tyrants Scourge, the war has cooled between Nirmathas and Multhun. There is a tentative peace in the hope that they may be able to unite to do something about the armies of the dead.
Is there how does Multhun feel about the cult then?
I'm not sure. I've never been there. I don't know how strong not sure how strong the church is there. As I say, I'm just I'm really only concerned with this immediate area,
Now-
the woodlands and.
Sorry to jump in here, but you know those geezers who pick up the old turds?
The Night Soil Men.
Yeah, the Night Soil Men, them ones. Now, do they happen to go into the old where the temple?
The temple? No, nobody goes into the temple.
Right, they don't go and pick shit up
Any
from there.
deliveries are delivered outside.
So they just leave the turds outside the gate.
They do.
Are they in baskets or? Are they just a pile
Do you
of
have
them?
a turd thing?
Well, no.
We're just saying that,
it just seems a
Velda
little odd.
Kernshite.
How do they? I'm rather boggled by the lack of a sewer system, to be honest. And so they just sort of dump them outside.
There's got to be a way to get in there. Do you see what I was
That
thinking
isn't
there?
joining the cult.
It's a bit weird.
I was thinking of dressing up as them and going in, but obviously
if
they don't
use
go
the
in
night
there.
soil, then we can't use that way in, can we?
It's
How
gotta
do they
be
get their food?
It is delivered. It is delivered to the gates, and then members of the church take it in.
What about barrels? Barrels.
Right, if
barrels,
we can't
barrels.
go under and we can't go through,
You want to go over it?
Over?
maybe there's a fucking way.
Why don't we just hide in?
There's a way.
Why don't we just hide in loads of barrels or something?
Do they check the food going in the wall then?
Classic dwarf strategy. Yes, I believe that. Well, they would open them anyway to inspect what food they've been brought.
Oh well, that's that then.
Over the walls then.
Yeah, maybe there's a way over it.
Why not?
Well,
how high are the walls?
I mean,
just out of character, when we went past the temple, can I make a knowledge... No, there isn't engineering anymore. Just a knowledge check based on what it looked like how high the wall was, what sort of fortifications it was, things like that.
You'd need to go and have a proper look. Like you only kind of passed the corner of it. You need to go and have a proper scope out of the area to really get a sense.
In terms of just how high was the wall?
So you reckon the walls are about 30 feet high.
Fucking hell. That's pretty tall.
I mean, I have spider climb, but it's just for me.
You could spider climb a rope up, then we could climb up.
Yeah, it's possible. That
Hopefully
we
not-
can do this.
Not in sight of the guards.
No,
yeah,
that would be lame.
Yeah, we would need to be very careful. I mean, we could. We need to do a decent recce of the place before we.
Of course.
It's possible that maybe I could send some kind of bird friend over there. I have a wand of speak with animal, and they could give us a vague idea of the inside, what lies beyond the wall, so that we have an idea before we try to get in there.
Good thinking.
This is possible.
why don't we hide ourselves in barrels of fish wine and just hold our breath when they check the barrels?
Because we'd have to be submerged head first in the fish wine
Can you not hold your breath?
for an hour or two.
No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to fill it all the way to the top. Just hold your breath when they open.
But if it's
the
not
barrel.
full to the top, then our heads will be poking out the top when they open the barrels.
Well, it depends how big the barrel is.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm assuming based on a normal barrel of wine, which is just enough. If you crouch like you're in the womb, it's probably about enough to squash us up.
Yeah, I mean, I will just about maybe, if I squish myself down very small, fit in there. But
Also,
I won't be able to put my head any more down than it.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, as soon as they see it's fish wine, they'll just leave us outside with all the turds. Because that's just bad wine.
That is disgusting.
Imagine drowning in fish wine.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I think I'll be having nightmares about that tonight.
There's some way to lead them all out of the place. Like we could dress up like a bunch of leaders or something, and then say that we're having some kind of meeting on the outside, and encourage them all to come out, or at least some of them. That way,
Well, that's an idea.
we could have two charismatic people dressed as cult leaders outside, and then the rest of us sneak inside while it's depopulated and have a look at it.
We could maybe use some lethargy poison on them, make them a bit sleepy. The people that that are outside, guards.
How much poison have you got?
2 vials.
Make them a bit sleepy. 2 vials.
2 vials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Not a huge
what's their estimated population at the moment in there?
I don't know. It's very hard to tell. I know there are. I see people around. I have a feeling the ones in the black robes are the most senior, and then there are some in grey robes who seem to be seem to be sort of general. I was given a white robe when I was there, the acolytes, but the fact that everybody wears their masks most of the time. Sometimes they are told. Sometimes you are told to remove your mask if a senior priest does not know who you are. They will make you remove your mask so that they can check.
Oh, so we could just be asked at any time to remove our masks anyway, even if we do get successfully initiated.
Well, yes, but if you were initiated, they would know who you were anyway.
Yeah, right.
Unless the cult is already aware who you are, which they don't seem to be from what you've said.
They did send people to kill us.
I thought you said they sent them. The people tried to kill you because they thought that you worked for me. What happened to the people that you killed? Did any escape?
No, they didn't. None of them escaped, but they knew someone related to one of us. So I'm assuming, hang on, out of character, they said...
No, they just did it because we were...
Yeah, they were standing right next to you when you said it.
They just happened to go...
They overheard
we
you
said to Dallin Battlestone, and they went yes to Dallin Battlestone just because we were saying it at that time?
Yeah,
So they didn't actually know anything about him?
No.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I was looking at you. I was like, oh, no, yeah, because they don't know anything about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Dallin Battlestone thing that got us in trouble with them, right?
No.
I mean,
No.
it wasn't really anything. No, it was the fact that you were asking around about the cult, and so the cult came to find out who you came to shut you up because you were. They assumed that you were working for Noala, and yeah, they walked in. They heard you toasting someone called Dallin Battlestone, and they threw it out there as a line, as a sort of intimidating
Dramatic line.
which was
okay,
the worst mistake
okay.
of their lives.
Noala, when do these people, apart from the times when they hand out food, when do they come out of the thing? Apart from food deliveries and them giving out food, when do they come outside?
They don't, do they? Or do they?
Sometimes they go. Sometimes they'll emerge. They usually go straight. They usually only if they're leaving the city. They'll either go straight to a faith barge and depart on that, or leave the city. Sometimes they hold their own. They hold sermons occasionally in front of the gates. One of the senior priests will speak occasionally in front of the gates of the temple, but they do not hold any open services.
I think we might have to go down to one of them.
Well, look, I've had an idea, though. I had an idea.
Oh, go on then.
So, all we need to do is get, if Shania or someone else, but Shania's got spider climb, can smuggle in some weapons, leave them in the temple, and then when we get initiated, we know where some weapons are. I mean, I don't need a weapon, but you do. And then when we get initiated, we can go and grab those weapons, and then we're armed.
Yeah.
Combine both the plans.
Not a
It's
bad
not a
plan.
bad idea.
Yes, because otherwise it's just the fact that we'll be unarmed in there. That's the bad for the initiation plan.
We need to try and make it so it's near where the acolytes are able
Yes,
to
well,
get to.
Nawala should know that because she used to be there.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't like being, the person goes, oh, what if, and buts and blah, 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 without coming up with a plan, but I feel like I have to do it here. If they will take weapons off people, then I'm sure they've got some kind of way of dampening magic as well. Why would they allow just people with all kinds of crazy magical abilities wandering around inside their church?
I mean, I'm still down with sort of, scoping the place out for a few days before we commit to any plan. And we can do detect magic, and any sort of warding like that will certainly pick up on scans.
We'll take a day, not longer, because we need to move as well. And like I said, I don't want the trails go
agreed.
cold.
Exactly, yes. We need to get on the case for Freya.
Then we'll make a decision and pitch it to Noala day from now. So, what time of day is it?
At the moment, it's sort of lunchtime.
All right. Well, we've still got a bit of the day. We could go have a look around. We should maybe leave it till night time, though.
Let's go have a scope quickly.
Scope it out.
You make your way back out of the Noala nod. Says, you'll be able to contact me here. Speak to Leafy. He'll know how to get hold of me. If you're able to find anything, then I'll see what I can do to help you get any further. If not, then, well, thank you for showing an interest, I guess.
By the way, do you know Leafy and that just keep lambs with broken legs just all over the place?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
So weird.
I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Noala.
Would you say it's the violence of the lambs?
Episode title.
I mean, come on, that was good.
Right,
So,
you make your way back.
Let's look.
Make your way back to town. When you get back into the town and near to, now you know what you're looking for. You can see that the temple is visible from a distance in the town. It's one of the larger buildings. You can see it over the tops of the houses. And the idea of setting fires seems to feel less appealing as you get closer to it and look it around, because the buildings are fairly dense around here. Partly the walls around the temple are stone, so it will be quite hard, but also you're fairly sure that if you were to set a major fire in here, there would be a very real chance of it spreading to the surrounding shops and houses. And you could end up causing a major incident in town, which is not necessarily what you're trying to avoid, but yeah, there would be almost certainly collateral damage if you were to employ fire in any kind of large fashion. As you approach there is a large crowd gathered around the front of the temple. The gates of it are closed, and in front of it there has been someone has built up a large platform is built, and you can see that there are a few priests stood up there. Most of them are wearing grey robes. You can see a couple in white. There is one man or woman dressed in black robes. All of them have identical masks, so they're iron masks with just a neutral expression on them. They are all the same. The only thing distinguishing them, you can see different body shapes. You can tell that some of them are non-human from the looks of them, from their heights and their builds. So it seems it's not an exclusively human church.
As we sort of approach, Shania turns to the rest of them and says, I'm sure I do not need to say this, but I'm going to say it any the fucking way. Keep a low profile, guys, okay? If you don't want to be, noticed too early on. This needs to be undercover business, yeah? Okay.
Of course.
Cover business. All right, you make your way up, and as you approach, you can see that the man in black is speaking to the crowd, and even over the noise of the crowd, you can hear his voice calling out. You look at each other, and you approach the crowd where the man is speaking. And you know what? That's where we're going to leave it for tonight. Let's wait till next week to find out what he has to say.
That was a lot of setup.
That was a lot of setup. You got a plan?